Hi, welcome to Zoology. I'm Phil Zuber, and I'm going to be your child zoology teacher for the semester. This class will provide an overview of the animal sciences, with a heavy emphasis on learning about the members of the animal kingdom, from the smallest and the simplest to the largest and the most complex. We'll study the interactions between various animals and their environment. We'll learn about some of the oddest creatures in the world, and we'll take a long and hard look at the impact humanity has had on the rest of the animal kingdom. Here's a quick summary of the topics we'll cover in this semester course. We'll begin with an introduction to the animal kingdom. What does it mean to be an animal? We'll follow that up with a look at the history of the animal kingdom. What does the fossil record reveal about animals of the past? Then we'll move through the various groups of animals, from the simplest animals, such as sponges and jellyfish, all the way through the vertebrates, the lions and tigers and bears. Along the way, I hope students will gain a newfound understanding of what it means to be an animal, and that there is a lot to appreciate and discover, even in the simplest of animals, such as jellyfish. So what I want to talk about in the remainder of my time is how do we approach each chapter, and maybe provide a few hints along the way at how to be successful at that. The very first thing that we do in this class with every one of the units is the students will read and watch our multimedia notes. These are provided on our Google Classroom site. These notes are filled with text. They have a bunch of practice problems in them. There will be videos, all kinds of various multimedia to help them kind of process the topics at hand. During these notes, students have note outlines of various forms that they'll be filling out to kind of help guide that process of learning. Another thing that we do every day as a warm-up activity is we do these creature feature activities. The creatures in which we do for the warm-ups are usually tied to the topic at hand. And this is just a chance for us to kind of relate to some of these animals as we're kind of working with them every day. Usually kind of something kids really enjoy. And the next step in the class would be our class discussions. During these discussions, we'll look at all the topics from the notes in typically a different way. I'll use different illustrations, different phenomena, different videos to be able to kind of tackle the similar topics and see if they get a chance to kind of practice with that material. The critical part here is that students practice by actively participating during these discussions. We do various extension activities, so along the way we'll pack it with labs. There are various videos, some of short in nature, some very long, essays that they'll write. There are research projects that we do along the way as well. One of the critical parts to the way that this class is arranged is the tests are not about rote memorization. The students are allowed to build cheat sheets, and there will be different rules per chapter as to how much information or how many pages they're allowed to be able to do. But for each one of the tests, they're allowed a cheat sheet. On that cheat sheet, they can put anything and everything that they hand write or hand draw. And this is really going to be critical to them being successful, is building these cheat sheets. This is something they should be working on throughout the chapter as we're doing discussions, and then kind of wrapping up with review. The test questions focus a lot on understanding relationships, comparing and contrasting various animal body plans. These cheat sheets are going to be key because I'm not expecting memorization. So building a good cheat sheet is important. It's also not necessarily easy. So we work on that throughout the year, and I find that they typically get much better at these as the year rolls on. The unit assessments, like I just mentioned, the students are allowed to use the cheat sheets on these, and I pass back the tests afterwards so they get a chance to kind of review the tests, see what it is exactly they did wrong. Was it something they forgot to put in the cheat sheets? Was it something that maybe was on their cheat sheet, they just weren't able to process it or find it? So they'll get a chance to kind of get better at that, and that's really one of the main goals of the semester, is for them to learn how to get better at putting down information and creating a tool in which they can use to be successful. Making a good cheat sheet is a skill, and this isn't something that they'll initially be very good at, many of them anyways. So I'm really looking forward to this semester. I think we're going to have an excellent year. As always, feel free to contact me through my email, pzuber@jpsonline.org, if you ever have any questions. Thanks for stopping by.